Hello there, welcome back. Sorry, I'm only making shortish videos here about your chess opening repertoire because it's going to take me forever to load these. Um, so I was saying about black. So I just finished off about black, and basically, yeah, my response was I liked the old Benoni because I like the fact that after D4, C5, you've got to dance to my tune. You see, because I think what people don't realise is that it's black who chooses the opening variation. White chooses the opening, but black dictates where it's going. And that's one thing you've got to realise. So when it goes 1D4, C5, then white can do a million, 4 or 5 decent responses, ignore it, take the pawn, transpose. You've got to know your transpositions as black. But the reality is that if once you know the transpositions, you know where you are and you're on common ground. So that's what we're all aiming for. And I said the Nimzo Indian is a top line, top class, world class main line. And I found I struggled with this bad boy. I mean, I'd say this is really, you've got to be 19, 18, 19, 2000 player to get anything out of this. It's pretty hardcore, I think. I just went over my head a lot of it. I look back at it, how much better player I am now when I was trying to learn some of the things in these videos. And at the time, I thought I was reasonable. And so, yeah. And then the Tarash I thought about, but didn't like that. It didn't quite work out. Expensive mistakes. This is the thing. You start choosing openings, spending money, investing time, you end up back at square one. The only good thing you get out of investing a bit of time in an opening you never play again is the fact that you know about it. So I suppose it's not a waste of time. You could look at it like that. And then we get on to the thing of buying sort of chess self-help books. Like, your classic Think Like a Grandmaster, which I remember I gobbled up and thought was wonderful. But really, I don't know really. What can we say about this book? I used to spend a lot of money getting these books because they were out of print. They cost a fortune. I mean, I was spending hundreds of pounds on chess books and videos at one point. This is an old classic. This is always worth a read if you've never read it. Simon Webb, Chess for Tigers. It'll get you some balls, about how to man up against stronger players and some tips. Actually, this guy came to a tragic end, didn't he? I think this was the guy who was stabbed to death, actually, in his house, this player. He was a GM, Simon Webb, correspondence GM, famous, I think. And he came to a tragic end. Anyway, yeah, look it up on the internet, but it's a shame. So yeah, and this thing here, I mean, this is just actually, this is pot boiling, just getting you to waste your money type thing. I look back at it now. This guy's not a grandmaster or anything. Michael de la Maza, he's just a strong club player, but he came out of all these drills and things for you to do in tactical positions. There's a couple of things I did. The night tour drill, you look that up, just that one thing, that's the one thing I took home from that book, I'd say, and that helped me with my tactics. Let's have a look at it. Where is the night tour? Yeah, how to think. Yeah, I mean, anybody could write a chess book really within reason. But yeah, there's a drill in here where you've got a knight and you have to go around and hit every square. There's a couple of other drills as well. It's probably worth getting that just for that. I'm sorry I can't remember what they were. Just tacticals, but you can do this online on any chess site now, tactical puzzles, and that's the thing, so I wouldn't worry about it. This is a 100-game chess book I got from a London Chess Classic, which is just for obviously recording your games. And I rushed up to the store and bought it. And Levon Aronian was literally about 10 yards away from me. So the idea was I went and bought this. I was going to get him to sign it. But he and I was just getting myself pumped up to go and get him to sign inside it. I was going to get him to write something like the Scandinavian's great opening, or something stupid like that, or I love it. And he was on his own, just stood there, and then he got joined by a load of other famous people, and I just walked off and lost my bottle. And this old favourite. Now, I went for a stage of being obsessed with old chess books, and I would go and dig out some old book, and this really is a wonderful book. I have never known the like of it before. And some guy who's not famous at all has done a load of research back in the day. I picked this up in these second-hand charity shops and things like that, you know. And his conclusion is he goes through analytically. He's trying to find the ultimate opening as white, yeah. And he talks about all the different formations, okay, the perfect opening. And his conclusion is, right, what do you think the perfect opening line is? If you've read this book, obviously you'll know, but I doubt many people are. He tears down every opening as white, and in the end he comes down to this one perfect opening. You will never guess the opening move. In fact, I need to do a video on this book because it's ridiculous. In fact, I should. 104. And the perfect opening move, according to this guy, after all his research and analysis, is 1 D3. Yeah, white. 1's pawn, queen 3, draw. Yeah, can you believe that? And going for a reversed. This is a sort of setup we've got here. Crazy, eh? I guess it's like a reversed old Indian or something like that. With white. But that's fascinating. So what I'm saying to you is, and then we get, into going into these like old school books. I mean, my goodness me, I can't believe people had the time to write books like this. I mean, all this notation, to sit there with a board in front of you. If you want to become a good player, get a real chess set out, get this book, spend half an hour going through one of these games with good annotations, and you will learn a lot. And that's worth, 50 blitz games online. One good game with annotation. Czech Benoni, that's quite a nice one. I never quite looked at that. That's worth a look one day. Don't see that much played that often. But yeah, I mean, these are so wordy, so hardcore. To sit there and do it and all these sort of things, Alekhine best games of chess. I mean, goodness me, the time to go through these, that's sure they're an old algebraic notation, which is a pain in the butt, but some people like that. But that's another thing. So, but all in all, you can become obsessed with these improvement books, and then you've got the game books, and then we've got the videos. And when's it going to end? How much more time and effort can we spend on a game? And I think with chess online now being so massive, it's just made it so much more disposable. I don't think can't imagine many young kids rushing into the chess shop and spending all their pocket money on books anymore. Back in the day, these old school chess magazines, they may have been interested in, but there we go. So that's it really. So my advice to you is find an opening which you like and stick to it and learn it and play it for 6 months or a year. As one is white, one is black, and response to E4, D4, and stick to it. Do not change. See it through. Okay, pick something that's decent, within the realms of, just play a main line or a well-known sideline, and just stick with it. You're going to get some losses, you're going to get battered, but you will become proficient with it. And that's my advice to you. The worst thing you can do is play an opening and dump it, play it and dump it, and never quite learn it. You'll get nowhere. I believe in going narrow and deep on a couple of openings, and they're your pet lines. That's your dream line, because you need to be able to crush and punish the people lower rated than you when you get that one chance to play them. Okay, or otherwise you'll never it will be worthless spending this time. So I hope you enjoyed that, and leave any comments.